Hello everybody and welcome back. This is my reaction video of the final in ATP Masters in Paris. The final has just ended. Novak Djokovic is the fifth-time champion. It's his second title in Masters of this year. And what a match we saw. This match was an example of an education in tennis because Novak didn't give Denis Shapovalov a single chance, a breath in the air, even though he received one break point in the Novak serve in this match. Novak was just solid, consistent. He was like an elastic rubber man who bent for everything. He was creative. He was just good from the baseline. He hit the ball to clean. He didn't give Shapovalov a chance, because if you saw the match, maybe you thought to yourself, did Shapovalov really perform in this match? No, he didn't. Did he showed up in this match? Yes, he did. He tried, but he was too nervous in this match. The heat of the big moment, his first big Masters title, he just came wrong in this match. He had an upper hill in the beginning, in his first service game where Novak broke him, and keeping his serve and especially his second serve was the main key for Denis Shapovalov to even talk business in this match, because you can't talk business with Novak Djokovic if you don't have a good serve, because he will create winners from your serve. He will take his teeth into your serve. You have to win more points in your second serve. And in this match, Shapovalov's numbers on second serve points win was only 18%, and that's where he lost the match, because he won around 83% of his first serves in. That's a huge number. If you look at Novak, he won 81% of his first serves in and 80% of his second serves in. 80% on second serve. That just shows what I have been told you before many times. Shapovalov is not a good returner. I have told you in countless videos before that he actually has one of the worst returns in the top 50 game, in the top 50 ranking game. But Novak is a smart guy. He doesn't have the most accurate, his serve is not hard, but it's accurate. It's calculated depending on who he's playing against. When he meets Federer, who has a quite similar return games like Shapovalov, of course he's much better than him, because you can't win 20 Grand Slams if you have bad returns. But my point is that Novak choose to serve differently against Shapovalov, because his weakness when is his returning game is his backhand side, of course. If you go to his forehand side, since he's a lefty, he can create more angles from his left side. Novak basically served into Shapovalov's backhand, and with accurate spin variation, because Shapovalov couldn't guess where Novak was gonna serve, and that's something that Novak has improved a lot the last couple of years. Maybe he doesn't do too much aces, but his serve is so solid. It's very underrated, Novak's serve. That's why he's the most complete player in the world, because nobody is as good as him from every part of the game, from the forehand, from the backhand, from the only thing that he can be better on, in my opinion, is his volley. But he doesn't have to rush to the nets. Only on different occasions. He's trying to improve his volleys by playing a lot of double matches early in this year. That was a strategy, and he is an okay volleyer, but area he can improve. But otherwise, what flaws does Novak have? He's good from everywhere of the court, from the backhand, flat line, down the line. His killer forehand, his killer backhand, his movement. He's like the plastic man. He reaches for every ball. You can't outplay Novak from the baseline. It's almost impossible. We have seen Nadal do that occasionally, mostly on clay, because he hasn't won against Novak outside clay since 2013 in US Open. Put that to your memory. 2013, the US Open final, I think, or maybe was it the semifinal. But his last win against against Djokovic outside clay. And if Nadal is not gonna beat Novak, who will beat him? Because Roger hasn't beat him since Wimbledon 2012, I think. So Novak, when he puts up a performance like he did today, with only 7 unforced errors, he only hit 10 winners. You know why he did that? Because Shapovalov did the job for him. He made Shapovalov do all the unforced errors. He was, I think, Shapovalov's unforced errors number was up in this match was 22. He had 24 winners. I think 13 of them came from his serve, and he made 3 double faults in this match. So that means he did almost 19. He did 19 unforced errors from his backhand and serve, and 13 from his backhand. From his forehand, and that's not acceptable in a Masters final against a player like Novak. He will eat you alive. He took those 2 breakpoint opportunities against Shapovalov, and he sealed the deal early in the first set, and then went on to win that comfortable. In the second set, he was up toe-to-toe with him, up to 3-3, and then Novak won. He broke him again. So Denis Shapovalov, a youngster from Canada who recently won his first maiden title in Stockholm 250 class tournament, reached the final here. He didn't have to play against Nadal yesterday due to injury, and he got an extra day of rest, but that didn't give him a favor, because Novak, he's the best player on the planet. He won his 77 title. He's 34 Masters title, I believe. He's just one behind Rafael Nadal. He has lost officially his first spot on the ranking, but he can still win the year-end title, which I think he has done 4 times before, or is it 5 times? Either way, Sampras holds the record. He has done that 6 times. And, Sampras, he was much as dominant as Federer were in his early days. So, Novak, what can we say? Are we surprised? Maybe a little bit, because the way he played in the first rounds in this tournament, where he has struggled a little bit in the first set against Motet. He nearly lost the first set. He received some... Motet had 2 set points, I think. The same thing with Kyle Edmund. And then he schooled Tsitsipas. And yesterday, Dimitrov did a superb performance. Even though he wasn't clutch in the big moments in the match. He was almost winning the first set, but his forehand drive error, that unforced error, soonly put Novak back on the map in that match. And from there was no talking about who's going to win that match, even though the second set was pretty, if you look at the level, it was almost equal. Grigor did a good performance. But Novak was the better player. He had less unforced error, like he always does in his matches. 7 in this match is the numbers just give you everything about his performance. I've seen Novak better, of course. I think you all have seen him better. But Dennis, he was just so young, caught up ahead of the moment. He's not a guy that can hit through Novak. He had a good forehand, a superb forehand, but today it didn't work. He was just too nervous. He didn't hit the ball clean. He couldn't challenge or ask questions from the baseline. This was a typical David and Goliath match. This match was typical the old against the new, the younger guy. Experience against non-experience. To be honest, I didn't do a preview video of this final because I knew that Novak was going to win this match in two straight sets, and of course I didn't have time also. But I lift my hat off for Novak once again. I'm sorry. He's never been actually a favorite of mine since he blew up, but I have seen his matches. I know what he can do. I know what his game is like. I know his level. Where his highest levels is perhaps the highest level you have seen on the tennis court by any player in the history. He has a game style that is demanding. It's hard to find a way to break through that wall that Novak have. That's why it's so hard to beat him. But like Roger Federer, when Federer plays clean, it's impossible to beat these two guys. And Rafa, we all know, he's the consistent king. He never goes down in level in anything he does. He plays for his life in every ball, from the start to the end. Novak and Federer, they can go away for 5 minutes for a couple of games here and there. They can give you the opportunity to win or break back or give you a lead head in the set. But Rafa is not that kind of a guy. But against Shapovalov, it was no question. He was too superb, too supreme, too dominant, too focused to let this slip from his hand. And it wouldn't have changed a thing if Nadal was playing on the other side of the net. He would have won against Nadal too in this final, because Nadal, he has played good as usual, like he does, but he hasn't convinced me that much that I had him as one of the winners in my preview. I actually put my nose out and said, I think this was the year that Nadal's going to finally win in Paris. But due to injury, you never know what's going to happen in the final. But the level that we saw Novak perform against Tsitsipas, and of course yesterday, just was enough for me. It convinced me that he will win this tournament, even though he started out slow. But Novak is like that. The big three are slow starters. They don't convince every time in every match, but they win the clutch moments. They are much more confident. They have the more experience. They are trophy collectors, trophy hunters. That's why they keep winning. Now Novak has won 77 titles. 77. He's just sniffing Nadal there also. I think Nadal is up in 80 or 81 titles. I forgot the numbers. And Federer is 103. That will be a tough task to reach. You never know. It's not impossible. If Novak can compete for 3-4 years, if he collects 7-8 titles every year, he's there. But that's not the important thing for him. He's chasing those Grand Slam numbers. He's the one chasing the Masters. He wants to win this Olympic gold medal, Novak. He is here. He is the man. He will be the man to beat in every tournament except the French Open. Mark my words. Even if you see Nadal whoop these low-ranked players, I'm not going to say the words because I don't like to swear, but he whoops everybody's, you know what. So tennis is still interesting for me. The ATP circus is reaching their end of 2019 in this first decade of the second decade of the 20th century, and the ATP finals in Paris next week. I think they start on Sunday next week. Is gonna bring out the best from these 8 players that are left in that tournament. Novak will have time now to charge his batteries and chase his. I think he's out after his 6th title there in the ATP finals. He is the main favorite here because the hard courts there it's a surface that suits him, and we will see what's happening. But today Novak showed once again why he's the best player in the world. All right, folks, thanks for listening. Take care and bye bye.